temperatures plummet to minus 55 degrees, with darkness almost 24 hours a day. Yet, this is a dry climate, with precipitation equal to the Sahara Desert. Summer arrives, 3 months where the sun never dips beneath the horizon. The vast domed sky is a palette filled with spectacular cloud formations. The muted sounds of sea and wind are all that break the profound silence. The empty vistas of land and ocean stretch as far as the eye can see. Yet, beneath the hush, there is intense activity. Delicate flowers bloom. Arctic hare groom in the sun and fatten in preparation for their long winter vigil. Fowl nest in the tundra. And man has other preparations underway in this remote spot for the coming of winter. Here, just 100 kilometers from the magnetic North Pole, Caminco Limited operates Polaris, the most northerly based metal mine in the Western world. This is the story of Polaris and the 250 men and women who live and work here, helping make Caminco one of the world's most successful mining operators. Polaris is located in the high Arctic of Canada's Northwest Territories, on the tip of Little Cornwallis Island. Every year, Caminco extracts more than 1 million tons of ore from the permafrost beneath the Arctic tundra. The ore is crushed, then processed to extract rich lead and zinc minerals for the hungry smelters of Europe. In designing the Polaris mine back in the late 70s, Caminco engineers had to cope with an array of natural obstacles. Among the biggest problems were the temperature extremes. In winter, the mercury plunges to minus 55 degrees Celsius. In summer, it may reach a balmy 10 degrees. The permafrost requires innovative construction and mining techniques. Caminco's vast northern mining experience was the basis for imaginative and effective solutions. To save time and money, many of the facilities were constructed in southern Canada for transport to Polaris. The concentrator, the powerhouse, the warehouse, the dry, together with shops, assay labs, and offices, were all housed in a process barge. This galvanized steel structure, 6 stories high and longer than a football field, was towed down the St. Lawrence, north along the coast of Greenland, and west through Lancaster Sound, a 4,800-kilometer journey. The barge arrived at Little Cornwallis Island in August 1981. The mine opened on schedule, with resulting savings amounting to millions of dollars. Mining at Polaris follows an annual cycle dictated by weather. Year-round, the ore is mined, milled, and then stored in a huge shed. In summer, the first ship arrives to begin the shipping season. Crews load ships around the clock, moving an entire year's worth of concentrate within the 8-week shipping season deadline. This is what it's all about. Loaders scoop up material and dump it into the conveyor. Concentrate pours into the hold. Crews strive to beat the previous loading record. Total annual production, 220,000 tons of zinc concentrate and 44,000 tons of lead concentrate. While summer is a time to get the product to market, It's also a time to appreciate the Arctic with some outdoor fun. The polar bear swim, for example, is an annual ritual. Fun at Polaris can be a creative endeavor. This is a sunny 11 o'clock evening in mid-August, and the High Arctic Golf Tournament is in full swing on Polaris's three-hole course, built mostly by Mother Nature and completely covered with shale. Scores are strictly by chance, but hey, take a look at this. Work, however, is a key factor at Polaris. That's what everyone's here for, to make some good money. Working 12-hour day or night shifts, 6 to 7 days a week is preferred. And they're pros. Caminco's experience in mining some of the world's most inhospitable areas is the key to Polaris's successful operation. The cold is so intense, an unprotected man would die in less than 20 minutes. Winter at latitude 75 degrees north means perpetual darkness from November until February. These harsh conditions are actually ideal for mining lead and zinc on Little Cornwallis Island. The presence of permafrost to a depth of 400 meters below sea level plays an important role in the extraction of ore. Because the rock is permanently frozen, it maintains ground stability that allows large rubber-tired equipment to be used to mine the ore body. Rock bolts are used to help support the openings. To ensure the integrity of the frozen host rock and backfill, the temperature must be kept below 0 degrees centigrade. From July to September, it is necessary to cool the mine air with a 450-ton refrigeration system. The process of mining at Polaris is efficient, energy-conscious, and environmentally sound. Geologists determine exactly where the ore deposits are located. Surveyors locate the area and mark the sites underground. The drilling and blasting crews move in, using the surveyors' markings to direct their efforts. Remotely operated scoop trams load the ore after blasting into dump trucks for hauling to the primary crusher. The mined-out stopes are backfilled with a combination of mine development waste rock and material quarried on the surface, mixed with water to consolidate the backfill. The water freezes and acts as a bonding agent, an innovative technique developed by Caminco. Summer crews bulldoze watered surface material into a mushy paste that is dumped through the backfill holes into the mine to freeze solid. In winter, frozen surface material must be drilled and blasted for backfill. All of the 1 million tons of ore mined each year is first crushed underground. 8 conveyors, with a total length of 1.7 kilometers, carry the ore from the primary crushers to the secondary crusher, and then into the grinding circuit, located in the process barge on the surface. The ground ore is then processed through the concentrator, which takes up about half the process barge. A flotation system is used to separate the lead and zinc minerals from each other and from the ground ore. Much of the water used in the flotation process will be recovered and recycled. Operators monitor processing activities from the central control panel. Remote cameras monitor mill operations. Although the process barge is a very compact unit, it has an impressive production capability of 2,800 tons a day. It was designed with 4 objectives in mind: keep it simple and safe, make it productive and environmentally sound. This flowchart shows the process of how the ore is mined, crushed, processed, stored, and the concentrate shipped. Repairing and servicing the mining equipment used in this remote location is the job of Polaris's highly skilled mechanics. Power for the entire Polaris operation is generated by the powerhouse, a vital facility at Polaris, which annually produces more than 49 million kilowatt hours of power. Heat from the big diesel engines dries the concentrate and also warms the living quarters. If the powerhouse stops at Polaris, pretty well everything stops. Polaris is governed by strict environmental regulations, and Caminco has proven high Arctic mining can be done in harmony with the environment and the people. People are important to Caminco. At Polaris, everyone works and lives together, so harmony is essential. All Polaris people live in the accommodation building, built on stilts so its heat won't melt the permafrost and cause the building to sink. A bus service takes mine workers to and from work at the mine, located only a few hundred meters away. This three-story complex is the social center of Polaris's own miniature world. The 4 accommodation modules contain more than 200 single rooms and 16 suites. The workers enjoy satellite television and telephones. There are also guest accommodations. The dining hall serves 3 hot meals a day, and it's always open for snacks. In the summer, the dining hall windows offer an unparalleled view of the Arctic summer beauty. In the winter, when ice is built up on the stairs and it's well below freezing, Polaris's talented chefs are hard at work in a warm kitchen, creating a wide range of enticing treats. Recreational facilities cater to various interests. While the pool is great for exercise and fun, it serves a double purpose as a backup reservoir for the sprinkler system. The commissary is a gathering point for life's essentials and for souvenir purchases. Its double role as post office is a valued link to the loved ones and family back home. Caminco does hire family members to fill openings. Spouses are often hired on 9-week contracts so they can live and work with their husbands. Polaris employees are from every province and territory in Canada. Inuit workers have a special 6-week on, 4-week off schedule, as opposed to the regular 9 weeks in, 3 weeks off. Preparing for the trip home begins by booking a flight at the local travel agency. Caminco pays for transportation to the airport closest to the person's home. The trip begins with a bus ride to the Polaris International Airport to board the Arctic's most common form of air transportation, the Twin Otter. With a set of fat tundra tires, these planes can land nearly anywhere. Twin Otters are an essential lifeline with the outside world. While most of Polaris's goods arrive by ship during the summer, all fresh foods and additional supplies are flown in by Twin Otter. Today's load includes arrivals back to begin another shift. It's a continuing cycle of people arriving and people leaving. Leaving Polaris means a half-hour flight to Resolute Bay Airport. From there, it's onto a jet and back home. Operations at Polaris have been largely dictated by the harsh, yet delicate Arctic environment. Those who come here to live and work quickly learn you can't fight nature. You must learn to adapt. Everyone who works at Polaris knows that if disaster strikes, outside help is a long way away. Safety comes first with Caminco, and Polaris's isolation makes the mine rescue teams even more important. Simulated fire and rescue drills like this hone their expertise. The only inhabitants who treat this frozen land with impunity are polar bears. Polaris tries to keep man and bear as far apart as possible. When employees spot a bear, they must call the mine safety department to chase it away. There is a friendly rivalry among the workers to win Bear Buster buttons. Polar bears look friendly, but they're very dangerous. So, with a little persuasion from a well-directed rubber bullet, peaceful coexistence has been restored. As the sea ice returns to Polaris, winter begins, and the last ship prepares to leave. The departure of the last ship of the season is marked by a special celebration. What is being observed is a celebration of continuity. A year's production has been shipped to market, and a new cycle begins. Cominco is committed to the operation of Polaris and similar mines in the far north. While mine operations go ahead at full production, exploration is continuing in the area. At Cominco, we are proud of the achievement Polaris represents. Here and at our other mining operations north of 60, Cominco has shown that Canadian mining and engineering expertise is world-class and indeed a leader on top of the world.